Yeah. Hello all. I am Tejas Sakarkar, a third year undergraduate student from the Department of Energy Science and Engineering. So in my 8th standard, when I visited my relatives in Mumbai, I had taken my parents forcefully to Lavington Road to buy an electronic kit at Gala Electronics, the shop that someone had told me about it. Since that first ever technical project, which was a transistor FM radio, my interest in technical stuff kept on growing. And there I was again at Gala in my second year as ERC convener to purchase Accelerate components. So from Accelerate, RC plane to antenna making and line follower competition, the first year was full of tech exploration for me. During my second year, when I was Hostel 5 technical secretary and ERC convener, I noticed the shocking fact that the institute technical culture. So there were few hardware projects that were undertaken apart from established tech teams, and very few hostel residents were enthusiastic to participate in technical GCs that are conducted by ITC. And also, I was a part of Exofly, and I got to know the struggles of newer tech teams there, and a large number of students that drop out of the tech teams after joining them. So I joined the Energy Club as manager in my third year and had the unique experience of online semester. And I got to know about the working of ITC in depth. And now I want to devote the next year to honestly try to solve the issues faced by the tech enthusiast and uplift the technical culture of the institute. So I guess you must have already seen my manifesto, so I'm not repeating all the points again. I would like to continue Founders Garage initiative, but the focus will be slightly shifted from entrepreneurship to technical skill development. Then hardware projects will be incentivized and the clubs will also undertake internal projects. Common team recruitment will happen over a month after mid-sem for specifically for new tech teams. Other tech teams can also join. Then hostel tech councils will work closely with ITC and will get a chance to volunteer in the club or core ITC events. So ultimately, I wish to reignite that technical spark in our wonderful student community of the best technological institute of India. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so let's move to the next section, which is the manifesto debate. I have already introduced the panel. The panel can start asking the questions in whichever order they have prepared. Um, yes, just a request. I mean, if the panel members, if they can turn on the video while they're asking the question, that would be great. I'll just read out the rules. Um, So I think the rules are same. The only constraint here being the maximum number of rebuttals can be only 5 for a particular discussion. So we have 9 discussions instead of 9 questions. And there can be multiple follow-ups at max 5. And the time spent for each discussion will be at max 5 minutes. So with that, let's begin the manifesto debate.
Should I go ahead?
Yeah, sure. Let's follow the order that we have in the document.
So, Tejas, my first question to you would be under the point of Tinker's Lab in the first section named technical projects. So, the second point in that.
Sorry, just a second, Shaunak, sorry to interrupt. For people who have joined, if you guys don't know about the point, the manifesto is available on the Gymkhana website. I'll just quickly share the link in the chat box also. So just you can match the point. Yes, sorry, Shaunak, please continue.
I guess people can take a minute to open the link. I'll continue.
Sorry?
Yes. In the second point under Tinker's Lab, the Tinkering 101 course. So my question goes as follows. What is the current progress on this course? What is the procedure to implement this? And who will be taking the course and deciding a fair grading for the same? And what is your role as a GSTA in initiating the course?
Okay. So starting from the first, there is a similar course already running in IIT Gandhinagar as an elective. The course basically is for the practical uh, um, hands-on working of the students on technical projects. Generally, our usual courses in ITV are mostly theory courses, and there are a few practicals, but as such, they do not make anything on their own as actual curricular activities. So this is the issue that the actual practical work done is very low. So to tackle that, the course is actually suggested. So already this year's council has already worked on this project, and already worked on this course, and the progress. So there are two particular people who already are appointed by Maker Bhavan for means they wherever their facilities are there, they actually appoint people for these technical things, and they actually have come up with a course content. So the course content is ready, and then the next thing that you mentioned, that who will actually take the course, or how will the grading be fair, etc. So for that matter, we will need a faculty, a full-time faculty for the course. And so the current issue is the faculty. Like the next task, the very next task will be to approach different faculties who will be interested to take such a course. So that will be my first task about this. And then regarding course constraints, like the projects are involved, so there will be funding required, and there is some limit to that. So there will be a course cap to this course, and it will be around 30 to 40, and the students will be teamed up in teams of 3 or 4, and then they will be given a project, or the project of their choice, maybe, or from a set of problem statements. So this project, they will work for a semester, and it will be graded timely. As in general, that some projects happen in some departments, so the grading will be similar, and the professor, it depends on the professor how he judges the project and on what parameters. Yeah, and as for my role will be to reach out to faculties uh, to make sure that the funding for this is funding for the projects is sorted. And so it is one of the main points. If such a course actually is introduced, then students will be it will be the course will be a motive to complete the projects that they want to do. So that is the main reason that I have put it in the manifesto.
Shaunok, if you don't mind, I'll follow up with a rebuttal. So Tejas, in your groundwork, as far as I understood from your response, have you approached any faculty as such to discuss this idea with? You don't have to name the faculty, of course, but have you approached any faculty? And if yes, do you have any? Are there any faculties that have signed up for this, that are at least eager to take this up?
Yeah. So to answer first question, no, I haven't personally reached out to any faculty about this. But the earlier council, the council that I talked to, they have approached the faculties, and until now, they didn't get any positive response. So the means it's the reaching just now they started reaching to faculties for this, and they also talked to the faculty advisor of Tinker's Lab and discussed this with them. So there were some plus points, some negative points also about this discussed there. So and then other than that, earlier I was involved in Makerspace also, the Makerspace program. So Makerspace also wanted to start a similar course for first year student, but that is somewhat a bigger goal, sort of long-term goal, because the complete curriculum of the first year will have to be changed, and then that was basically Professor Shantanu Tripathi was actually handling that Makerspace, and I was working on a project under him. So it's there will be very few technical things that we will have to take care in this, because we are introducing this as elective and not the first year course, so that there will not be very large modifications in the curriculum, etc.
We have only 30 seconds left. Tejas, just try to keep your answers a little short and to the point. If there are any follow-up questions, quickly you can ask.
Okay, so
if you don't mind, Gaurav, can I continue?
Sure. Go ahead.
okay, sure.
Yeah. So my last question would be that could you please explain the procedure of like initiating the course into the curriculum? So what is the formal procedure for including a course in a curriculum?
Okay, so the usual process, like the process, if this course would have been first year course, then we will have to put it in Senate and change the complete curriculum. I'm not exactly sure of the introducing a course in the next semesters, but there we will have to make a complete proposal with the faculty members about the course, and then we will have to submit it, and it should be passed by the institute committee, most probably Senate. I'm not sure about this, as we are introducing it as an elective. So as I have not talked with the professors, so I cannot comment exactly on this, but most probably it will have to be passed through Senate and the proposal. Yeah. Or the if it is elective, I guess it will be the process will be from the department.
Okay, we can move to the next question now.
Yeah, so I'll take the next question. So Tejas, this is about your point on the PG tech conveners and in general the PG, whatever points you have addressed for that are redirected to the PGs in general in your manifesto. So as you know, PGs are usually focused on a particular subject or a topic because their curriculum demands that. So like me as a PhD student, I won't be interested. I would rather invest my time in a particular niche area. So instead of using their subject knowledge, you have proposed a post with a very broad description, as that much is clear from your manifesto. So can you comment on the need of this particular post and how will this fare out based on your groundwork?
Okay, any particular, sorry, the last part.
Okay, so the main question here is, can you comment on the need of the PG Tech Convener post that you have proposed?
Okay.
And based on the groundwork that you have done, how will that fare out?
Yeah. So currently, we have only one representative for the PG students, who is PG Tech nominee. And this year, actually, the events for PGs are particularly focused for PGs are very low current ITC timeline. So this year there was mainly one big thing that happened for PGs, that was PG Tech Weekend, and the response that we got for PG Tech Weekend was really very huge. Like it was a 2-day and little here and there for some competitions and some talks. So the PG Tech Weekend was held in the last month. It was in January ending, I guess. Yeah. So the PG, there were on those 2 days, there were different clubs actually held their sessions, their workshops, or the competitions. And for almost every session, like for example, I will tell my perspective because I am energy club manager, and we had one session on energy policies. And on that session, in that session, the participation that we got, the response from the PGs that was really that we weren't expecting actually the huge response that we got. So after that, we also held a hackathon competition. So also people actually participated actively in that competition. They had to work on something and they had to do it. And there were actually from all the participants, there were there were very few students who were actually interested, who were actually from the energy department.
Tejas, I think you're digressing. I mean, you have to answer what's the role of PG students. It's
Okay,
clear
okay.
you have.
So the point that you told that the PGs are only interested in their whole work, their own work. So I guess their focus is on their own work, but they are also interested to explore the new things that are happening, the new happenings in the tech. So for that, we can have more events for them, more introductory event. And the one person cannot handle all things. To cater to that huge response, I guess the more PG, the two more posts I am suggesting for this.
Great. So now can you also describe the exact job description that you have planned for this? What will be the role of the PG Tech Convener?
Okay, so this year the main event that was PG Tech Weekend. So from all the organization of the event from the start, like which all things do we have to do to take the registration, to make the form, and to then have sessions, to all the logistical work was done by actually PG Tech nominee. So the work was for that one event was really huge. And then also I'm planning to make it biannual, so once every semester. So the work will be the work for the PG Tech nominee will increase to a certain height, and that's why I am proposing these two people, and their work will be like manager and convener of the club. So manager will be overlooking all the activities and he will be guiding them, and the conveners will actually work for the success of the event. So there are two events, so one each can take two events in two PG Tech weekends in 1 year. So one each can take one responsibility of one event.
Perfect. If anyone, so if other panelists have any questions, if not, I have one. So Tejas, just based on the last question that I asked, this all sounds really good. So, but have you actually talked to any PG students or PhD students who are actually interested in this, and you have got that sample set in your mind?
No, not particular PGs, but I talked to that PG nominee about the whole complete timeline of the PG students, and how much how much work do they have in their 2 years, and what is their actual mm, uh, mm, how much time they have in their 2 years. So yeah.
Let's
Alright,
close this
yeah.
question. I think we have, yeah, let's move to the next question.
Okay. Hi Tejas, Lavkush here. So my
Yeah, hi.
question regarding your manifesto is from that collaboration part. So like, could you tell me at least 3 to 4 events where you think collaboration would be needed among various clubs? Directly tell me the answers. Don't go here and there. Okay.
Okay. So the collaboration will be like some events. Like I can tell you the main idea is small and big clubs collaborate together. So suppose Energy Club and ERC can come together. So Energy Club will actually have a concept of some suppose solar tracker, and then ERC Club will have their actual the circuit or the logic behind that. So they can combine it and have a common workshop regarding this. Or the another example can be Maths and Physics Club. It can be combined with WNCC. There are a lot of applications of coding and the software, ML, etc. in the field of science, pure science, and the current research is highly based on the software things. So these two clubs can combine and have a session on this. And then the another collab that I think is between BioX Club and the ERC, because there are high-tech technologies are being used in the biology, and the automation is being done
Okay,
in
fine,
21st.
Tejas. I got that point. Now coming on to the second part, like why there is a need, like Energy Club could do the solar part alone also, na?
Yeah.
Like and that ERC और bio वाला जो part है, अब ERC वाले भी इतने कोई rocket science तो है नहीं उनका कि उनको सब कुछ आता होगा, तो why there is a need कि मतलब तुम्हारे पास तुम्हारी team है, do it from yourself ना?
Yeah. It's completely valid point. I will try to answer that. So, they actually the lot of take that is happening, actual take is which is happening is mostly it is interdisciplinary. For example, like you said, rocket science, there are many different subsystems are involved. So like that. So the main advantage that this will have, that the audience of ERC and the audience of Energy Club is completely different, or there is a little overlap, but the audience is different. So this audience will get some taste of electronics also, and the audience of ERC, they will also get to explore the energy field. So the overlap of audience is the main advantage that I think. And then also because of inter-club events, the club actually club members or the managers, conveners, they will have this new experiences of working between teams that will be really useful for them in the future. Like it's working in small team and working with another team with different thoughts, different timelines. That will be a challenging thing that they will do. And again, this will be a recommendation and not I will not, or it will not be forced on the clubs like you have to collaborate with another club.
So they just like coming on to again, like if there is a collaboration between ERC and Energy, ERC has a team of 8 to 9 members and Energy has a team of 5 members. So combining these, you have 13 members, but the event needs only 5 members. So why you are wasting? And see, the problem in collaboration is there is always a communication gap. See, like me and Anirudh both are the managers of each club. So there is no one at our top who could say कि हाँ ये काम हुआ, and there should be communication between the conveners of both clubs also. So that would be a problem, and you are just distributing the work among larger number of people, and that would reduce your number of events.
Okay. Okay. So I do not see it as a problem. I see it as a challenge. Like this year, Founders Garage. So in Founders Garage, ECL and ITC collaborated. So that event is not possible just by ITC or just by ECL. So similar things that how can the ABNP conveners, how can they take some session on email? Like how will they might know, but the WNCC people are more, they already have some training and they have experience in that. So I guess and not 13 people will work on the same thing. Sometimes there are multiple things going on in the club. So from 2-3 members of ERC and 2-3 members if required, or maybe 2 each, they will come together and they will try to bridge the gap. That will be a challenge by itself, and I think that will teach them something, and not just it won't go waste the efforts that they will put.
But considering the level of the events, and like you tell the solar part, or the if I pick up any one event from the 3 events, do you think there would be need of collaboration of those 2 clubs? Like, isn't it doable from one club?
I don't
Like
think
you
like
give me 3
everything.
examples, pick up any one example and say कि हाँ इनमें इसका ये काम हुआ and इसमें इसका ये काम हुआ.
And let's make this last rebuttal because time ho gaya iska.
Okay. So I will tell just ERC energy stuff because I know I was the manager of energy and I know much better in the energy clubs things. So suppose you take some in two directions wala solar tracker. So in that, the how it works and what is the basic principle behind it, how it should be directed, what should be the angle, how should we actually, where it is beneficial, where it is not. These all things are the expertise of Energy Club and their conveners. But regarding the circuitry, what logic, what servo motor should they use in actual scenario? How is this scalable, and what logics, what microprocessors are used, in microcontrollers are used? So I don't think this can be done by, or this is not a very comfortable field for Energy Club conveners. So I guess it will be much better if this event happens as a collaboration.
I guess this could be done. Like इतना कुछ ज्यादा सीखना नहीं पड़ेगा यार, मतलब तेरे को तेरे कन्वीनियंस को 2 दिन बैठाना है, आर्डिनो लेके पकड़ा दे, हो गया तेरा काम. Instead
of course, let's wrap up this abhi ke liye.
Okay.
Let's follow.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's move to the next.
Yeah, I will get back to you. I will talk to you in person about this later.
Yeah, I think we can move to the next question.
Hello.
Yeah, hi Nambil.
Hello. Yeah. Hi, Tejas. So since you mentioned Founders Garage in the previous question, so you've also been a part of Founders Garage this year, organization-wise, and you also have been taking reviews from the participants. You've written in your manifesto that you'll be modifying it, and of course on a different timeline. So tell me what you have learned from this year, and what do you think should be the changes that should be implemented? So what are your plans for modification?
Yeah, sorry, complete the question.
So what are your plans for modification of Founders Garage in your tenure?
Yeah, okay. So the first thing what I learned, so I have been part of Founders Garage for 2 years now. Like last year it was the scheme was as Technovation, and this year we changed it a bit to and launched it again as Founders Garage with the additional entrepreneurship aspects. So the thing was, when we moved from complete Technovation to Founders Garage, and we focused on the publicity and collaboration with ECL. The response was really very huge compared to the last year's Technovation response. because the Technovation is basically completely working on the technical projects, and uh, uh, the interest in just working on hardware technical projects has been low since past few years. So when it is relaunched as with entrepreneurship aspects, then many people who want to start, basically who want to develop a startup, they came into this scheme, and actually uh, we had some sessions, around 8 to 10 sessions about these different aspects of entrepreneurship, and also the some sessions by startup founders. The thing that I learned mainly was the people completely focused on the second part, that is entrepreneurship part. The After we had first review, and then we floated a form that about the progress, and the responses that we got, that everyone was working on application, developing an app or some portal, like between one entity and another entity, etc. So the ideas were not very tech focused; they were more like business focused. They were finding some problem and they were trying to solve it. That is good, but the solutions were more, they were not heavily tech dependent. So these type of things can be done by other entities, like for example we have Sign in IIT, or we have eCell in IIT. So these, that they already do such things. So what are we doing something new? So our part is promoting technology, or hardcore technology development. So for that, the modification that I want to propose is, in first half of the program, we will completely focus on the technical part. That is, it will be similar to Technovation, and in the second part, the teams that are that have performed well in technical part, they will go to the second part and they will launch it as their. They will try to launch it as their product. They will try for funding from outside funding. We will also fund them for the technical development part. So that is the modification that I want to make in this program.
Okay, so you know the numbers of the number of people that registered at the start of the initiative, and now you have a rough idea, right? Because you've also been working. So, what do you think is the reason that the numbers have changed so drastically? And also relating to the points of funds, we are already collaborating with ESOL for the initiative. So, for other external funds, how do you plan to approach? Like you've got an idea where to approach, but how do you plan to approach?
Yeah, so external funds are like this year also we have one session in our timeline, that will be by eCell, and that will be in that session the certain outside people who like, it will be sort of fundraising session for the startup. So it will be VC session, and where the teams will pitch their idea to the investors, and the investor might want to might want to fund those projects. So that's what I meant from the outside funding. So it will be via, like, it will be from the medium of through the medium of eCell, but the funds from the outside, not the institute funds. So that is one thing. And the second thing regarding numbers. So yeah, so numbers have drastically reduced, but still the very good thing was, we had the first form floated in January, and the response was the participation for everyone present here. I'm just mentioning some figures so that they get an idea. So initial participation was 150 around in basic or very initial stage, and the around 30 to 40 people, or 10 teams around in the advanced phase. So after the from in January, the response that we got was approximately 7 or 8 teams filled up the form that they want the immediate funding, and they want their mentors. So that, I guess, is a good, not very good figures, but there is something happening, or this was not there in last year. Last year only 2 teams were working, and we have improved. And also some people pinged me, and they asked me that when is the second form, when will you float the second form? That we told them the second form will be floated in February. So that was a good thing, that more teams are also interested. The sessions were not complete in January, so I guess that was one thing, that's why the response was low. So I expect around 10 more teams that they will fill form in Feb, and in March funding session, like the Feb form, that it will be floated now in March. And in funding session, I guess at least around 25 to 30 teams will actually pitch in their idea and ask for funding. So that is really good.
I think we have crossed
Okay.
the time. So
One last follow-up question, Anirudh. So, based on the previous edition when you were a student in the initiative and now you have been managing it, so next year, what is your rough estimate about how many teams will be completing it and why different the number?
Okay. So I guess last year the final project was not completed by anyone. Like the tremendous progress was made, but it was not completed. This year the number will be higher. Like I guess around this year, approximately 5 to 10 teams should complete actually up to the product part, like the final product part. But I guess this large number is also a product or as a consequence of shifting from highly technical. The highly technology intensive projects to some projects which are more like business intensive or the web or app development projects. So next year I expect, if I am making it hardware intensive or hardware or basically technology intensive, not just hardware, software also, but technology intensive. So I guess again, if we got 5 to 10 completed project, that will be a really good achievement. So the 5 to 10 projects will be of the level of startups. So 5 to 10 startups is really good thing. So I expect at least 5 startups or five completed projects after the first phase of the technovation of the founders garage. Pardon.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, we can move on to the next question.
Right. Again, Tejas requesting, try to keep your answer short and to the point. We won't be able to ask all the questions this way. Also, people who joined late, if you have any questions, you can post it in the chat or wait till the last where we have the audience section and you can ask them. Okay, now we can move to the next question.
Yeah, I guess that's me. So hi, Tejas again. So
Hi.
you would agree that your whole manifesto is more focused towards project, and the theme is more centric towards projects. And so based on the previous experience of the previous 10 years and the groundwork that you have done, do do you expect the load of this to fall on the shoulders of the hobby club managers and the teams? And if yes, then do you expect this load to be implementable uh, and in turn not compromise on the event part of the hobby clubs?
Yeah. So I completely understand uh, like the club should work independently up to certain extent, and also I understand that the club all the club managers conveners are first the part of ITC. So the events that usually we have the clubs already participate, like the during inter IT things or the Take R&D Expo or orientation. So that is the current work that the clubs do. So club managers or club conveners do apart from the actual club activities. So the projects that will be the project schemes that I have mentioned are so mainly it is the focus on ITSP or the focus on PG Tech project or hostel tech project. So those are like all the things are by different entities. Like hostel tech projects will be floated by hostel tech counselors in their particular hostel. Those will be hostel winter technical project. Another thing, PG technical projects will be released by PG council. And then ITSPs is, as every year, the complete council together will organize ITSP and they will basically will be involved in this. And Founders Garage, again, a part of the council, a part of the core ITC council will take a lead on this. So I guess the load won't be any higher than this year's, because I want the club managers become club managers because they are interested in that particular aspect. Like the ERC managers become ERC managers because he is interested in electronics and robotics part. So I completely respect that, and I want them to have good quality events in their club, and the work that the core council will be limited up to certain extent and definitely not higher than the current.
No, but naturally, the whatever 2 or 3 initiatives that you have proposed, all of them have separate entities you claimed, but all of them will, of course, approach the hobby clubs because of their expertise in those niche areas. And in the end, of course, the hobby clubs will be doing what they are good at, but it will be an added load, and that's what my question was. So you are taking away the freedom of the hobby clubs from which was the core part of the
No.
hobby club.
I got your point, but I definitely do not want to take away any freedom from hobby club, because actually I am of the opposite opinion that they should work on their club more, and also on the common ITC initiatives, but the focus should be first on their club events. So regarding the projects, so for example, I will explain it from one example. Like suppose you take hostel technical winter projects. So these projects will be floated in the month of November, December, where all the club activities in the institute are actually low because everyone is at home and enjoying. So these hostel technical projects, the hostel counselors will come up with some projects, and they being part of the by another point is they will be involved with, or they will work with ITC together, and because of that they will know the projects that they want to float, and the whole hostel technical council will float some projects. They will give mentors from their own hostel, and the funding will be, if required, will be arranged from hostel budget only. So in these, the only role of the club managers or the club members will be, if there are any doubts, or if the students want to know something, or they want some mentors, then providing those mentors or providing some help, these will be the roles of club managers. And I don't think there will be any organizational additional role as such on the club managers or conveners. So the basic help will be required regarding any topic that they do currently also, if anyone requires. So that will only be the additional about these projects.
I can easily give you a counter example there, but instead of that, I will move on to the next part of my question. Is that instead of I understand the whole concept behind focusing on projects, but then instead of organizing these by yourself, by the council itself, why not focus on participating in competitions or challenges that are hosted by other institutes or bodies? So there are lots of hackathons, lots of challenges that are going on with which have a well laid out and everything has been fixed there. So you can instead just facilitate the participation in such events. Have you thought anything about this?
Yes.
And
Yes, that is a
so there
very good suggestion.
another point will be
Sorry.
just 1 second. So there another point will be that you will get a far better involvement from even the from either even the PG community, because they'll know that there's an end goal right there. So yeah, your thoughts.
Yeah, so that is a very good suggestions, and I received it from like many people, and that is one part of that whole project thing. For example, I have also mentioned club projects, right? So currently there are some projects, or there are some things that, so for example, I will give aero modeling club. The managers and conveners together work on some projects, and those they participate in some competitions. So there is then an idea to extend those projects to everyone, like the hardware projects, like the conveners will take the lead, not managers, and there will be other students involved, and those will be students and participate in competition. Similarly, the similar point is from the ERC manifesto. If you see the current the SECI that is going for ERC, so she also, the point is basically to the club and the external students together will work on some problem statement, and they will participate in external competition. There are a lot of competition in these two domains, like aero and ERC. So, and also in energy club we were working on such things, like there are some, this year we participated in MIT energy hack and some other competition. So that is the aim of every club, and they are working on it already. So I will definitely promote this thing with projects, like the projects that they will take. If the projects are focused towards this competition, that is a bonus point on it. So yeah, that is already considered in that point.
Let's close now. Let's move to the next question then.
Okay. Hi Tejas, this is
And I think
Pranav.
this is a long question again. They're just requesting you to keep it very short.
Okay, sure. Yeah, hi Pran.
Hi. So let's talk about tech teams now. And let's start with your first point, the recruitment fair. So given all the students are duly informed about the technical teams and what works they do, from the freshman orientation as well as the teams conduct their own orientation. So what benefit does this recruitment fair hold to any of the stakeholders, let it be teams or students?
Okay, it's okay. So I will tell two viewpoints about this. So I talked to tech team leads. So broadly there are two types of tech teams in the institute. One is properly set up and old tech teams, and another set of tech teams that are new tech teams. So there are no issues as such for the old tech teams, and they are working very fine on their own. They require minimal help from the GST and the ITC. So they are working pretty fine. They have their own website, design team, etc. But the newer tech teams, so I'm focusing on them. So they have many issues regarding recruitment. They, a few years back, they also requested for common recruitment at like same time recruitment, because there were many issues. The first issue was the first tech team that is doing recruitment, they get some advantage because the teams don't know. There is a lot in first year. There is a lot of peer pressure that your complete being is going for the recruitment exam. I will also go, and at the end, what ends up is they do not get interested in that particular tech team and they drop out. So the dropping out or um, to try these issues, I am proposing this. So the whole idea behind the recruitment fair is, the first thing, the schedule will be made perfectly clear to everyone beforehand. The main thing, the only thing I guess is currently happens that so that the students know about the tech teams is is the orientation. And our technical orientation is so long that there are so many clubs, so many tech teams. So basically they sometimes miss things, and they do not know how exactly the teams work. So the first weekend of the recruitment fair is for the
Okay,
open
okay.
day.
Okay, Tejas, I've read your
Yeah,
manifesto and I have your plan. So let's say people are benefiting, but I like disagree with your point there, because we mail them, we publicize our recruitments on various media pages or their groups. There are many things, many ways. Okay, but let's move on to next point. So different tech teams have different kinds of styles of recruitment processes. Some prefer to
yeah.
give month-long hands-on projects, while some have multiple papers in short span and then interviews. So how will you fit all these in this rigid 1 week timeline that you have proposed? Can you please answer
Yeah.
that?
Okay. So again, this is not for every tech team. I'm just clarifying this thing. Like, for example, I talk to satellite team and their recruitment happens in the second semester, second half, and they do the month-long process or the actual more than month-long. Racing team also does the same thing. They do the recruitment during the end of the year. But the other tech teams, like the newer tech teams, they do not have such type of process. As I talked to them and got to know about it. So at least there are few tech teams I know about. I talk to them. So it will be month-long process. So it will be around, I expect around 4 to 5 teams, newer tech teams mainly, come up for this. And so it's completely, I am not forcing these on teams. So those teams who want to come for this, and there are teams I talk with them, they can involve in this. So their publicity will be completely like in regular manner, like the from Facebook page, as I've written in manifesto, know your team. Also their video. I have actually talked with the cultural people, like, can we make some video about every tech team, a small animation video maybe. So gotten a positive response from the culturals, and they are also willing to do that as a project. So if that happens, the publicity and everything, the process will be streamlined, and the students will apply to only those teams that they are interested in. So yeah.
Great, that is great. So one thing you should have mentioned is that this is not compulsory for all the tech teams. Maybe you should
Yeah.
have mentioned that in your manifesto, and just make it clear wherever you publicize it. And so
Yeah.
let's move on to the next point. You mentioned regarding workshops. So tech teams have very tight and rigid schedules they have to follow to complete their projects. And as and when they get time, they by themselves do workshops, right? Workshops or lectures regarding their niche subjects. So what is your role in it? What are you planning to do new for workshops?
Okay. So it is this point combines with the earlier point that I also want their inter team, like inter tech team communication should be I want that to happen, because every tech team knows something and about some maybe some vendors or some extra things, like how to get sponsors or how to get some other. So I want the inter team bonding. So also that this happens, that we all know that the racing team's mechanical branch is like they are really good in it because their whole efforts are mainly concentrated towards building the best possible design. But the newer tech teams, they have very less experience in this. They also have their own mechanical subdivision, but they are starting from a very new part. Or some students, I want to push for the newer tech teams next year, and the students that are working on bigger problem statement, they do not know what should we do in this. Basically, suppose they want some mechanical structure to be made, how to start with this. So for this, they can the a person from the mechanical department of the racing team can mechanical subdivision of racing team can have one session. So my my role in this would be to talk to tech teams to let them know the advantages of this, and to schedule these sessions over a period of time for all students, and encouraging those who are in process of starting new tech team, or the new tech team students, or the uh, or general students. So first recognizing the need, talking to the respective tech team, and then having this session. So that will be my role in this. Yeah, similar can be the controls of suppose Exofly, they can have their session.
Okay, so a newer tech team is always being brought up just because another tech team or another body does not do the same kind of job in the institute right away, right? There is no point in making new tech team when another tech team is doing a similar job. So how can you compare, let's say, mechanical of racing team with Sat Lab or any other, let's say, Exofly? So they are completely different entities in themselves. So
Yes,
how
yes.
do you think
So
the
okay.
workshop of racing team will help the people of Sat Lab, let's say?
Yeah, sure. So although they work on the completely different design, completely different logic of the controls, etc., the the approach to the problem, or suppose the
And
design of the exoplanet.
adding to that, they also have their faculty advisors with them, professors who
Yeah.
are into that field, and they guide them, right? So just go ahead.
Yes.
Sorry for
This will be the
interruption.
last question. They just answer this
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah, sure. I will just try to answer in brief.
Thank you.
So, yeah, the first point was the different types of work of the every team. So although the work is different, according to me, the approach is same. The softwares they use, or the simulations they do, or the actual manufacturing things, how they manufacture things, from where they get these things manufactured, they can be the same. Like the Exofly, the design of Exofly will be completely different from the design of the racing car. But the approach or the softwares the design team of the racing team use, sorry, mechanical subdivision of the racing team use, it this can really be helpful for other newer teams for their own mechanical design. And the second point that you mentioned about the faculty advisor, actually, I was also recently involved in the formation of a tech team, and the contribution from the faculty advisor that I have also seen when I was in Exofly, and also during this new thing. So it depends on professor to professor, but obviously because of their time commitments, they cannot give time like the students give their time. So the professor won't teach you like how this is to be done, but the professor will verify, like, I have designed this, so is it okay, or that should we proceed with this, etc. So they won't teach some things, or they will just give you some hints, or they will give certain direction, but they cannot focus on the smaller details of the suppose mechanical design. So yeah, that is the main purpose of the workshop.
Yeah, let's close this now, and we can move to the next question.
I have a question for you. So there were some points that I felt lacked any novelty, and there was a repetition from the events that existed. So let us take in particular the Tech R&D and PG Tech weekends. So I have three questions for you. The first one is like these 2 points seem repetitive to me. So could you please explain the groundwork? What were the issues faced in these events when they were last conducted, and how do you plan to overcome these? And the second would be, in what way are you planning to execute these events differently? And the last one would be, what is the estimated budget for the planned drone shows and high-tech gadgets, which you have mentioned in your resume for the Tech R&D weekend?
Okay. Yeah. So the first question, that the points are repeated. Yeah, I know the points are repeated, like they happen every time, but it's not necessary that my personal opinion is there is one thing that you can come up with.
Let's just go question by question. So my first question was, what were the issues faced in these events when they're last conducted, and how did you overcome those?
Okay, so the first thing, the Tech R&D Expo this year, like it was completely online semester, so it didn't happen this year. And also during the last year, the ITC and the UGSC had two different events. Like the ITC had their Tech R&D Expo in Shobhana's tenure actually, and then the Empower also had their own, I guess its name was something Research X. So those were two completely different things, and till earlier year, these two things used to happen together. So I want to bring that thing back, the collaboration between UGSC and ITC on Tech R&D Expo, so that we can do things like on a larger scale and at one point for everyone. That was the purpose, and I also talked with the current candidate for the GSA and discussed this point with him. So that is the novelty, or the issue, or the issue about that this didn't happen this year, and the last year it didn't happen as collaboration. So that were the issues, and I want to bring back the collaboration, and then add some more points like inviting outside people, or the like I wrote the drone shows. The drone shows are mainly the attraction, like the to drone shows are like something that people are attracted to. Also the some high end tech, you can say, not very high, but there are certain drones that
sorry to interrupt, Tejas. My question is specifically on the budget that would be required for the drone show. And
okay, so for particularly drone shows, we can contact some things, like we have some contacts from our old ITC members, or the or the IIT startups. So for the particularly drone thing, I do not expect any budget. I will not try to waste any budget on the drone thing. It will be like we will try to get them without any budget. But the other stuff, if we bring other stuff, there will be budget involved in this. And but I do not want to spend a lot of budget. It will be I've not thought about budget as such currently, but it will definitely not above some 25 or 50K, definitely.
So have you done any groundwork regarding this? So how much amount was spent on the last Tech R&D Expo? Can you give me an estimate?
No, so this year the Tech R&D Expo didn't happen. So
last year. Last year.
Last year particularly about budget, I haven't talked to anyone about Tech R&D Expo. But for this, I do not want to, the particular thing that you told, I do not want to spend any budget on that. Sir, can you please tell you the another question? I guess I missed this question. Okay.
All the questions done, Saurabh?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So we closed before time, so we can ask. So there are two more questions that we can take in that case. Oh, so actually, Prajwal, you'll have to make Nami Lakshmi the co-host again. She's not able to unmute. Prajwal?
Hello. Yeah. So regarding your manifesto point on InstiX, yeah, so we have a pilot project on mass digitization this semester, but taking that forward, how do you plan to procure your project ideas? Like do you want it to be in the way of a tech team, or you're going to include a professor? Elaborate on that point. And once, let's say, this initiative takes off, how do you plan to recruit people, like on a problem statement based basis, or like once they're inducted, they are in the team and they'll have to work on all of the given problem statements? So that's a two-part question. One is how you're going to do it, like as a full-fledged initiative. And second will be, what would be the criteria for including participants, as a problem statement basis or as a tech team basis?
Okay. So you said currently mass digitization project was happening. So the first job of the next year's InstiX will be to complete or to expand this to all hostels. So that itself is not a very small task, and it will take some time to testing and all. So that will be the first thing. The second direct project that I have in my mind was the e-shuttle tracking. So similarly, the ideas will be taken by all the managers, because currently it's not a different body, and it is just a part of ITC. So I'm the project ideas, or the things that we can the things that can be done will be discussed in the ITC. I do not want to force anything, because that is my idea. So the ideas that we get, then we will float those, and then we will recruit people. And those the people that we will recruit, that will be only for a particular one project, and not like a tech team that will go on, they can work for 3 years or 4 years. It will be a body under ITC, like a club, but not a club, like a DevCom, a completely different body. And every year their conveners there will be a nominee for that. And but this year the first plan is not to have a nominee, at the earlier stages. The first thing will be to push for the completion of mesh digitization. Then once that is successful, then we will set up it as a body, and we will have a nominee. And under that nominee, we will have the certain around certain number of people that will work on a chosen problem statement. The problem statement will be chosen before the recruitment. And once the problem statement, the project is complete, the new team will be formed on the newer problem statements. That is the complete. And again, no faculty will be involved apart from the approach for the guidance.
I think let's close
So
this
you're
now.
talking about a club-based system, right?
Yeah. It won't be a club. It will be
yeah.
It will be, but basically club-based. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Namil,
And
let's
what
close this question
about
for
the
now.
number of projects you're aiming for per year? Yeah, fine.
Yeah, we can just follow up later. So let's take the last question. Lavkush, if you have this question, otherwise we'll move to the topical debate.
Okay, Tejas. So the question is regarding the all-in-one platform for inventory. So like this year, they had a web nominee for these all web-related activities, but still we didn't have that platform. So what different you would be doing for that?
Just can you repeat all-in-one?
Like this, like your point is there, na, in Tinker's Lab, like all-in-one platform would be there for all inventories. So like this year they had a web nominee also. So still the platform is not there. So what different you would be doing for that? Like what are your plans for it?
Yeah, so I talked with both the managers, and the progress that I got to know was they actually developed all-in-one platform, and not the complete platform, but the logic or the backend part of that whole platform is ready. And they also have certain ideas to take it forward, like to have using IoT, check if the machines are working, or check if the machine is on at particular state, or in certain machines like 3D printer, you can install camera inside and then streaming it on the website. So there are many ideas, there are many things that can be done under this one all-in-one platform. And the first and foremost thing will be to complete the development of the current platform that is being made. If not, if it doesn't happen in this tenure, it will be continued, and the first half, the platform will be deployed for everyone to use. And later later the additional feature, like I told, the usage of machine or the other things, those can be worked on as a project also in teams, and then those can be deployed on the platform. And regarding web nominee, yeah, so this year the web nominee was involved, but as of now I don't there are no plans for the web nominee next year. But if required, if we feel the need, and the huge chunk of the platform is left to do in the next year.
Hello. Sorry,
sorry.
There is a time issue, that's why. Okay. So who would be updating these inventories? Like first, how you would be collecting data, and then who would be updating these inventories? Directly tell the POR of person who would be doing this.
Yeah. So the inventory updation will be done by the TL technician. So that it's one word.
Okay. So have you talked to them? Have you talked to them?
No,
like, are they familiar with?
Not
like they are
directly
not
with
even. See, they just like they are not even familiar with using Google Sheets, and you are telling them to use websites. Like our whole tenure go in like उनको सिखाने में चलिए like कि Google Sheet पे ऐसे अपडेट करना है, and you are asking for website and you have not asked them.
Yeah. So the first thing in the initial phase, the whole team can together like do this thing, and after a certain point, I guess it won't be any problem to just update the values. And the whole all-in-one platform, the issuance system has the thing that they will have to enter continuously, and the it will be dynamically changing system. But the all-in-one platform, I don't want to keep it like every month they will have to go check all inventory and then update values, what is there, what is not. So the issuance system will have only dynamic data, and that will be just updated when some person goes in and takes something, then comes to technician, just he will just tick there and enter the roll number, and that will be only for issuance system. So regarding the all-in-one platform, the inventory, I don't want them like I from the groundworks I got to know that it is a big issue to keep the track of all the items that are present in TL every month, or the managers have to do by their own. They have to go to TL and they have to note down what is there in TL. So I don't want to increase burden on them. It's just the inventory and the data sheets of all, so that people know what the things usually are there in lab, and it can be updated once every semester. That is completely fine.
So yeah, that would be an issue for you for getting those work done from technicians. So go and have talked with them. And also, like, who would be doing these projects, that IoT related projects which you are talking of, like 3D printer ka status check karega? Who would be doing those projects?
Yeah. These projects can be floated. Like I mentioned, different hardware projects. So these projects can differently be floated for students. So during the tenure, whenever if suppose TL always usually has they run TL projects. Like this year, there were quarantine projects. The last in your tenure, last tenure, there were TL projects, and that was a really good scheme. Like I appreciate it. I did 2 projects. So similarly, there will be enthusiastic people who will like to do certain projects that will directly have application in the institute. Like they will be used. So so rather than making these projects by the core council or by making some from outside or something, by buying this, I want the students take lead on this and they do these projects, and then they get implemented in the Tinker's Lab.
So like they just like getting these projects
of
done.
course, let's
yeah,
let's close this because we have already crossed the manifesto debate section. Now we'll move to the next section, which is the topical debate. I'll just quickly read out the instructions. So there will be 2 topics, each for 10 minutes. We already shared the topics with the candidates. So the candidates are supposed to be prepared with the questions and answers. So the first topic is about COVID recovery. I am audible, right, Tejas?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so the first topic is about COVID recovery. So due to the pandemic, there hasn't been almost any hardware tech activity going on. The freshman batch will move to their second year without any such experience. There was already a decline in hardware activities, and now because of the pandemic, it might become worse. In a broader sense, the club culture bonding has taken a hit, and active steps need to be taken to regain and improve it in the future. Your manifesto currently fails to address these burning issues directly, and the panel would now like to ask some questions. I'm guessing you already have the questions, so you can keep it open. So after I ask these questions, you have to answer them one by one, and after that, the panel can ask follow-up questions. In total, we have 10 minutes. I'll just keep on informing about the time. The first question about this is, what all steps will be taken to introduce people to hardware tech and tackle the problem of decline in hardware activities? Let's go one by one. Okay, fine. So I'll just ask all the questions together because you have the questions. So this is the first question. Second question is, what events will be conducted for sophomores? Currently, freshman batch who is going to become sophomores, to give them the exposure of introductory tech events that they couldn't participate in this year. Third question is, what steps will you take to provide training to conveners to help them organize and manage events? Because the conveners are going to be the current freshman batch who haven't experienced anything on hands-on in the institute. And how and when will the convener selection process happen? The last question is, even if you return back to the campus, let's say by June, offline activities might not resume in full strength until maybe September. What is the plan of the council then? Specifically discuss plan for ITSP. You can start now.
Okay. So starting with the first question, what all steps will be taken to introduce to hardware? So this year, the most of the events that happened, where mainly the simulation based, so as you said. So the main events in the first year that the hardware events or the hardware projects that happen, starting with Accelerate, then RC Plane competition, then Arduino Makeathon. And in the second semester, there are small projects are floated, or the line follower, or some glider making workshop. So these are all things that happen usually. So regarding Accelerate, so the plans are as soon as the students return, the current freshie batch returns to institute, the first plan is to have get electrified and get and the mechanical section. Basically, these two sessions will happen as soon as they return, to give them the hands-on feel of the actual Accelerate. And then the actual Accelerate that will happen for the next freshie batch will be open to all Sophies also. So the whole problem that you mentioned, that they will miss out they won't be interested, etc. So the thing that I feel here is, as they are coming for the first time in the institute, they will definitely want to get their hands on the hardware part. So they will want to work in Accelerate, and they will want to make their own bot, etc. Or the other events that happen. So the Accelerate will be open to all. Yeah.
When I say try to be specific, you don't have to mention what they would want to do. They would definitely want to do hardware, but what are you going to do to conduct those activities? What kind of events are you going to conduct? That is what you have to answer, because we have limited time.
Yeah. So the first thing, all the events, as I talk to every the prospective institute secretaries. So all the events will be open to sophomores also, the freshies events. So there is no specific sophomore events other than Founders Garage. Founders Garage is, as you might know, it is mainly for sophomore students, and then also open for everyone, like focus on sophomores. But other than, I'm not proposing any specific event for sophomores. All the freshie events, the freshie batch events will be open to sophomores. To answer the first
Okay,
question.
fine. So this is answer to the second question. Now answer the rest questions. Of course, you're on. I'll just mute you. This is only one question. Answer the rest three questions.
Okay, so 1 and 2 are, I guess, already answered in the earlier part. So okay, so regarding training of conveners, that training of conveners is one of the points of my manifesto. And the Aero Modeling Club has already started training their conveners, the hands-on training. The other clubs also, the usually the until the last, or the until the second last, or the last to last year, the training was not that intensive. Like the every club, they had their own training, but I want to make it uniform across all the clubs. And the training.
No, so you're going on a different line. We understand that you want to do it. We are asking how you're going to do it online.
Yeah. So simply whenever the conveners return to the institute for the Aero Modeling Club, they will straight away, the first thing that they will do is to make a plane, to make an RC plane. Similarly, for the ERC conveners, the first thing that they will do is to make Accelerate bot. And I guess for the other clubs, usually their training doesn't involve the hardware part, like MNP club, suppose, or the energy club. So for them, not a specific hardware training is required, as per my opinion. And then how and when will the convener selection process happen? So the convener selection process, in my timeline, I am planning it to be online, completely in online mode only, and in their second semester. So the process will happen in the month of May. So it will be just after their mid-semester exam. So that's the timeline of the convener selection process. Okay, so the last question. Yeah, so the plan of ITSP. The main question is the plan of ITSP, so I will focus on that. So the ITSP will start, it will be started by this council or the current council, and it will go on till it will be passed on to the next council. So it will start mostly in the later half of the month of March. And it will start in online mode. The first part of the ITSP, as we all know, that it is the documentation review, and then making the plan for the next step. So that will be done in the initial part. And then in the vacations, after they have only 2 week vacation, the current freshie batch. So in that vacation, they will actually work on the software or the simulation part, if any, for their ITSP. And we are absolutely not sure about how will the institute opening plan will go. So if there are any hardware aspects, like we will give them option, like they can have hardware aspects, but the whole ITSP should be more focused on the simulation and the software part. So that part will be completed like last year's ITSP. That was completely online, and that was a really huge success. Most of the teams completed their projects. So similarly, the initial part will go, and if students next year, the sophomore batch, they come back to the institute in August, or they start the semester offline only. So then in the first 2 or 3 weeks, when this load is very low, the curriculum load is very low, they will given a chance to work on the hardware part and complete the ITSP project.
Okay, so now we have 3 more minutes. We can have questions from the panel. If anyone in the audience, if you guys have questions, you can just keep it with you, and we'll have the audience section, and then you can ask those questions. But for now, the panel, you can unmute and ask the question. I think Tejas, you didn't answer the first question, which is what exactly are you going to do for the hardware things. You answered for sophomores, but not specifically for hardware.
Yeah. So hardware, I have mentioned a number of things. Like the first one was the hostel technical projects. They are supposed to be hardware projects. Like there is also one point that incentivizing hardware projects. Like I will try to be that is the one main thing behind the hardware project. And by incentivizing, I mean there will be certain things that I will introduce. The first thing being the complete documentation of the projects on the ITC website, the hardware projects mainly, and also the software. But these documentation will be open for all, and the technical teams will be they will be they will be pushed to check this section if during the recruitment, or suppose similarly inter-IT selections, inter-IT contingent selection, if there is certain problem statement, and if the student has already worked on the hardware project, he will get a direct entry to that. If he has completed the project, there will be certain benefits like direct entry to the inter-IT contingent, etc. And the other
so that is okay.
things,
you can mention what different hardware projects will be there. You don't have to explain what's the incentive.
What my personal opinion is that there is no need of like different schemes. The one direct scheme that I have is Founders Garage, and Founders Garage, anyone can apply for hardware tech projects, and we are giving mentors, we are reimbursing them during the first half. So that is one big scheme for the technical project, and the other schemes will be hostel technical projects and the PG technical projects. These are 3 main schemes. I don't want to introduce a lot of schemes and make chaos. So yeah, these are the 3 main things I focus on, and incentivizing.
Yeah, we have 40 more seconds. If there is one question from the panel members, you can take that.
Tejas, like, wouldn't it be like it is regarding the recruitment of tech teams? Like, if you are keeping it all in 1 week, like, wouldn't it be hectic for students who are preparing, like, going for their orientation, then giving exams, then giving interviews all in 1 week for various tech teams?
Yeah. So I guess the process is like manageable in 1 month period. Like the exam will, suppose if it happens on Wednesday, like I talk with the team leaders, and I guess they have no issues, then I guess it should be implementable. Like I have the plan is, suppose for a weekend the orientation will happen on the first, like suppose this weekend, for an example, ExoFlash recruitment is happening. So just when the interviews are over, so on the same Sunday, the orientation of the next tech team will happen. And the next complete week will be devoted for, suppose the exam happens on Wednesday. So for Monday, Tuesday, the publicity of the team will be done. Like on the Facebook page, know your team, also the video and the email, all will be sent on the Monday, Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, suppose the exam happens, the papers will be graded by maybe Friday, and the list of the students selected for interview will be floated. And the Saturday, Sunday will be given for the interviews and the final announcement of selection. So usually what happens is these tech teams also, they invest sometimes a lot more time than required on the recruitments, and that is one complaint that for the recruitments and all, a lot of time or management time is gone. So that will also, I guess, will reduce because of this.
Yeah, let's close this now. I think this topic was also not related to what we were discussing earlier, but let's close this now. We have crossed the time. And let's move to the second topic. The second topic is about hostel tech. The premise is decline in hostel culture, and therefore the hostel tech culture is pretty evident. Previous T6 and council members have taken steps to make the GCs light and more fun as one way to try and change this. Though this step has helped, but the results have been marginally satisfactory, major steps need to be taken in this direction and to bring a significant change. With a strong background with Hostel Tech Council, it would be fair to expect this push from your side. So the three questions that you have for this topic is, first, do you think this is the reason behind the decline? What do you think is the reason behind the decline in hostel tech culture? What are steps you have been taken to tackle it till now? What do you think is the unaddressed problem here, and how will you tackle it? This is the first question. The second question is you wish to do hostel tech, wish to include hostel tech course and tech seckies in the GC ideation and other events. Do you think they will be willing enough to contribute? Have you talked to them? What will be their level of involvement? And what change do you think this will bring? How much change do you think this will bring? So this is about your manifesto point. The third point is about, again, other manifesto point, which is making GCs fun and theme-based has been tried for the last 2 years. How much did it help? What new things are you planning to add? Give specific examples for this, and how much do you think this will help? So you have the three questions, answer them in the order and one by one. Be very specific, answer in 30 seconds for each part.
Okay, so first question, what do you think is the reason behind the decline of hostel tech culture? So the main issue that I found was the hostels are being closed, the older hostels are being closed, and the students are being shifted to hostel 18, and in bigger hostels there is in general I find the lack of the hostel culture, because it's a big hostel and there are not everyone in the hostel knows the other person. And the older hostels, like in hostel 5, hostel 2, hostel 9, the hostel culture is still intact. But because of the decline in the number of hostels, that is the first point. And the second, in particular, hostel tech culture, and also the last question, what do you think is the unaddressed problem? So usually what happens is the mindset that I talk with my friends and in general, why don't you participate in GCs? The mindset is that the sports GCs or cultural GCs are mainly for, they participate is for as refreshment or just refreshing thing from their academics. And they assume that the technical GCs, that those who are like smart enough, or those who do good in academics, only they will participate and they will do good. Those who have skills, they should participate in the GC. And for certain GCs, it's true up to a certain extent, because some GCs are mainly completely tech oriented. Those who know, they only can participate. Unlike suppose gyrations, where everyone can participate and dance. So what all steps have been taken till now? So yeah, I have experienced this in my second year and the third year. Again, I will talk about a small problem. So that problem was in my second year, I was technical secretary and I was trying to get participation. I was very motivated towards our hostel winning the Tech Cup, but no one was like, very less people were willing to take participation in certain GCs. So at the end, what happened? We only had to participate in almost all the GCs, or means with the help of some other student, like if someone was there for every GC, but also we needed some extra people that were me and my co-seki. And because of that, in almost all hostels, the tech sekis, their motivation goes down with time. Like it becomes sort of hectic for them to participate in every GC and then also manage the other things like reimbursement and other hostel events, etc. So that is the issue.
So out of the 9 things you have to discuss, you have been discussing the first point for the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, I will cover. So yeah, I know this very well, so I will cover. So what all steps have been taken till now? The first, this year, what we did was we tried to make the GCs less tech involving slightly, but more fun part. So like there were few GCs like the Among Circuits GCs that was based on the Among Us theme, and yeah, so the first like this, or introducing the general GCs like the product development GCs, which got a really good response because it was not basically dependent on a certain tech skill. So these were the efforts. And then the next thing, you wish to include hostel tech course and security ideation. So this is the point directly taken after the discussion with the current course and the current sekids, because the issue that they talked to me about was currently what happens, the role of course has become like just convey the information from ITC to hostel and get the maximum participation. So earlier when the tech culture was good, this role was also like interesting. Like the people would come, they work together in hostel. But as the
Okay,
tech
just
culture
wait.
has been declining,
Wait.
they feel like they are forced to do things by the tech council, and they are just the middle person in all this process. So if they involve in the
Yeah,
ideation
just
and
a
events,
second. Just hang on. I'll ask the question. Just answer in one line. You have just one line to answer. This way we cannot complete anything. The next question is: you wish to include tech course and tech circuits in the GC ideation and other events. The question is: do you think they will be willing enough to contribute? Have you talked to
yes,
anyone? Answer
this
in one line.
I talked with them, and this was the point raised by them only. So yeah, they are willing to contribute.
Okay. Next question: what do you think will be their level of involvement?
Okay, so their
One
level,
line.
their level of involvement of course is simply the ideation of GCs and then the making of the general problem statements and going through them. The all things that the current ITC does about the GCs, they will be involved in them, and only not in the grading or the later stages of the
Okay, that
GC.
is it. Tech circuits.
Okay, the tech secis role, they will be the tech secis will also be involved in the ITC groups, the common ITC groups, and they can volunteer in the club events, general club events, so that they stay connected with the general tech enthusiasts of IT Bombay, which are mainly in ITC. And yeah, so that is the main thing about the tech secis.
Okay, so the next question is
What
theme-based
change?
GC. You again explain the entire thing. Explain this. What is the new thing that you are doing, and give 2 or 3 specific examples of how you will do that. Just
Okay,
answer in one
so
line what is the new thing you're doing, and then give the examples.
so theme based is like you said, the last year there were theme based GCs. So particular GC might be theme based GC, like among circuit GC was among us theme based, but not all GCs or a group of GCs were theme based. So this year, what the plan is, suppose there's a certain theme, suppose it's like sports. So the 2-3 GCs might be oriented towards sports. The betterment of including tech in sports, coming up with ideas regarding how the tech and sports can be combined, etc. So that is that basically is theme based, or like superhero theme. Like there was one event of Energy Club that was basically superhero oriented, similar like that. And so to make the GCs fun and not very much involved in tech, so that is the change. How much do you think this will help? Yeah, so like I told, the product management or the among circuit GCs, the response was really good compared to other GCs. So we have already seen how much this helps, and this will definitely help, according to me, the next time.
Okay, so I
Yeah,
think now we'll ask the panel if they have any questions, and again, whichever
yeah,
question they ask, you have to answer in one line.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, so Tejas, you said that the hostel tech culture, whatever answer you gave, in my experience, the hostel tech culture was declining even before the older hostels were scrapped. So when I was in hostel 7, the hostel tech culture was pretty much declining throughout my years in that hostel. So you didn't really address the get the reason or address the reason behind it. You have any further comments to add there?
Um, yeah, like the first basic things that is wrong with tech GCs, or the people's view about the tech GCs, like I told, like the sports and cult is for refreshment, and tech is the whole mentality about the tech GCs or tech cup um, is wrong, or what can I say? It's about it is being curricular regarding, or being study oriented. So that is, I want to change the root thing. Like I don't want to keep it very much tech oriented. Just the GCs are for the people to get motivated and work in the technical part. So I want to keep the GCs not the change the attitude that the GCs are nerdy. Tech GCs are for nerdy people, and the,
Okay,
and to
yeah,
introduce the
you
cool
said this
factor.
thing. Fine. Yeah. All right. Uh, uh, Other panelists, do you have any other rebuttals or questions? If not, I have one. So, okay, I'll straight away go ahead with that. So, I didn't. Can you comment on the PC's involvement in the GCs and how you are going to address the hostel 12, 13, 14 and other PC hostel involvement in this in GCs, and what new are you planning to improve that?
Yeah. So the involvement of PG hostels as well as girls hostel are like really very low as of now. So the currently what this year we had planned earlier was we can team up hostel 12, 13, 14 together, but still but individually also the overall participation that we received this year was also very less. So the thing that I want to do is this year we introduced one GC mainly regarding PG curriculum sort of. So it was basically IOR related GC, where the in that GC the participation of PGs was really good. So introducing some GCs that go hand in hand with the things that PG do, or in general topic like product development GCs. In that also the participation was from PGs. But regarding hostels, like you said, 12, 13, 14, and the girls hostel maybe. So the one thing that can be done is to combine them and just motivate them. The first main issue is they do not have established council. So this year there is no tech council in hostel 12, 13, 14, no well-equipped tech room in hostel 12, 13, 14. So I will first push for the council in that hostel, and the hostel tech council and tech secretary selection, that will be pushed from the ITC by sending mail. Currently it happens just from the hostel part, like the hostel GSEC sends mail and all selections are done. But we are incentivizing it from the ITC side by making charters and defining their role and just telling them the benefits or the uh, perks of being hostel tech course or tech cities.
So do you think
So
the hostel councils will be formed just by sending out mails from your from
no,
GSTA? Is that
no. Obviously, the work of forming the hostel tech councils is of the hostel council or hostel GC. But what I plan is usually these all selections happen in 1 month only. Like suppose September usually happen. They happen in September. So what I want to do, and the tech course happen just in April. So just before this election of tech course, we will send one mail describing what is the responsibility of tech course, because this year we are changing it a bit than last year, and then how they will be closely related with ITC. And also similarly, secretaries, for the secretaries before their selection, we will be sending out mail regarding their role and their selection. So I guess this will give the people a clear idea about what is at it, and it's not like every year's the role of tech course and tech sec is that just forwarding information from ITC to hostel council.
Yeah, I think the answer is clear. Let's close this section now. We have crossed the time. We are so this is the last section before we move on to the audience question. This is the background check question in which we are going to look at Tejas' manifesto as the Energy Club manager and then ask those questions. So one thing that you mentioned repeatedly in your Energy Club manifesto and is about projects. So you have mentioned this thing about a team project, that team should gain some technical knowledge with management skills in the tenure, and hence we'll do some small research projects in team led by managers. And additionally, there is a mention of club projects in your manifesto. From what I have understood, these 2 points weren't completed in this tenure, and it is a burning issue because you have mentioned club projects, different club collaboration between projects and other kind of projects in your GS Tech manifesto a lot. So first explain why this couldn't happen in this tenure and what different are you going to do to complete it in the GS Tech tenure.
So the whole idea behind this research, the team project was the team comes together, they get to know each other, they work together, and at the end make something that is useful or they learn from it. Usually the learning of conveners is comparatively low. Like the organization skills improve a lot, but regarding their technical knowledge, we see that it usually is not seen that increment in the technical learning. So that was the main motive, that they work together in a team at certain place. So the whole idea was to have hardware project. They work on something in TL coming together. So first of all, as this was online semester and also the semesters were really hectic for conveners, so I didn't want them to have one extra responsibility on working on a project this year in online mode, like come in meets and then discuss something. It becomes really boring, as we all have seen. So but we already have discussed this in earlier meetings, to the team meetings, and what we have decided is once we get back to the institute, like they all the conveners really want to get back in summers only. So if they come in summers or if they come in next semester, we will then come together, do project together, and yeah. So that is the we still are on track for that.
Yeah, so there will be no rebuttals for this section, and Tejas, you have to answer in strictly 2 minutes. Next time I'm going to cut you off exactly at 2 minutes. So take 10 seconds to think about it and then answer. Hello?
Sorry, what did you ask? The question
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, I was just saying for the next question, you have only exactly 2 minutes to answer.
Sure.
Yeah, and so the next question is
So
about.
just please tell me if it is going too long. I will just cut short there.
Right. Okay, I'll do that. So the next point is about, so in your manifesto, there were a lot of points that focused on the hardware implementation, including a flagship event for your club. My understanding is that these things weren't completed because of the online nature that we had, and it was not feasible to implement these offline things. But uh, the next tenure, a good fraction might be online because these things were not converted to an online medium. For example, ITSP is something that happens offline, but the council was able to come up with an online measure for that, online variant for that. But the points that you have mentioned in your manifesto, they weren't changed to an online format or were conducted. They were left out uncompleted. Similarly, if the points that you have mentioned in your GS manifesto, the offline events, let's say in case the situation becomes worse, if the tenure is online for more than 6 months, what is your plan going to be? First, explain why in your energy club manager you weren't able to complete those points, and then explain how you're going to do it for the GS thing. Now I'm going to start the timer. You have exactly 2 minutes.
Yeah. So the points in the Energy Club manifesto, the mainly the points regarding hardware projects. So for me particularly, doing hardware projects based on converting them to simulation and doing them doesn't make any sense. Like the whole idea of the hardware projects is different than the simulations and the software things. So we completely changed. Like we came together and discussed the events before the start of the semester, and then we had different events. Like we had one really very good nationwide means open for all course, and the course had really very good response. That was completely for online. We had the whatever talk. So the events were changed. In the sense, the complete events were changed, not just the same events were modified for the online semester, because that doesn't make sense to me particularly. And then regarding this, the next year, the GST year, the events are mainly most of the events that are there apart from projects, they can be done by in online mode, and the events that are not possible. And I'm really optimistic about the offline semester, and still, if the semester continues as online, the team will come together, have discussion, and then we will come out with the events. Like this year we had very good online events. The ITC had really very good online events. We can continue with some of that, like the alumni talks, etc. And it will be completely changed direction. I just don't want to have the events in offline proposed for offline semester and change them for online semester.
Oh, you're done.
Sorry.
Okay. I was just saying 20 seconds left, but if you're done, let's move to the next section.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so now we can move on to the Q&A section by Insight and audience member. Let's begin with Insight. I have been told they have 2 questions for Tejas, so I think we can let Arvind speak now. Arvind, I'll have to unmute you. After this, we'll ask the audience member to raise their hands. You can even raise your hand now, and then we'll let you ask the question.
Hey Tejas, this is Arvind.
They just will have whatever question you have. They just will have 2 minutes to answer, and then you have one rebuttal.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, hi Arvind.
Chalo, take it. So let's keep it quick. This question is regarding the AI community. Can you give me one project idea, just one project idea, which would be taken up by the AI club that you're planning for the next tenure, the tenure after yours?
Yeah. So the structure of AI community is the same, like
just one example of a project topic.
Okay, so the project is, first of all, project is one of the things. There will be sessions, there will be other things. The project is one of the things, and the projects they can range from simple ML projects. Sorry.
Okay, simple ML projects. So the reason I asked this question is that I'll give you an example of 2 paradigms. The one in which you have 3 clubs, WNCC, the AI club, and ERC. And in the second paradigm, we have 2 clubs, WNCC and ERC, in which WNCC and ERC are collaborating together to form to work on AI projects. Collaboration seems to be like a very feasible option considering your manifesto and stuff. compare and contrast between these two paradigms and tell us why the first paradigm in which we have 3 clubs is better than the second.
Yeah, sure. So currently there are 2 clubs. So I will first comment on the 2 club paradigm. So what happens is ERC, the current work they are doing very less. Like the WNCC is doing some part regarding what I propose to do in AI community, but the work that currently ERC and WNCC doing it's completely mostly completely different from what I am proposing for AI community. And AI is the thing that is the thing of the future. Like AI is really growing very fast, and we need a particular different club for this. Like the enthusiasts, the ML and AI enthusiasts are really, the number is growing exponentially, and to cater this need, to add the burden on ERC or WNCC, they already have their own events in their own own their own area, but so I want this to be completely different and devoted for the AI related things. So it will start from ML to general intelligence, humanoid bot. There are a lot of computer vision. We also had one closed computer vision group. So the group can also get involved in this AI community. So the field of AI is really very huge, and it cannot be catered under WNCC or ERC. And it is growing field, not the field which it may some
Yeah, I
fields are
think
like
got it, Tejas. Arvind,
Yeah.
if you want, you can ask one more
So-
rebuttal. Also check the chat box.
Okay, fine. So any plans on implementing this AI community this tenure? Do you have anything particular to the AI community, how to implement it? And apart from
Yeah.
that, I have one more question. I think Anirudh would allow it. Yes.
Okay, so I
Well,
will just answer this question.
AI community.
You can ask next. So sorry, just I missed the question.
The AI community,
Sorry.
structure of it currently, how are you?
Yeah. So this year I don't want to continue it as a club. So unlike the newer clubs like BioX and chemistry, they started as some enthusiasts leading some activities, and next year depending on the success they were converted into club. So it's similar structure. This year the enthusiasts will lead it, the volunteers will lead it, and the next year we will plan to take it as a club. Yeah.
How will they collaborate? Which platform? What kind of structure? So
Sorry.
if you are what will be your role in implementing this AI structure? If the enthusiasts should lead it, they should have done it by now. What will you do different to make this happen true?
So the whole name is AI community. So the first thing we want to do is build up a community. Then pick up someone who has interest in leading this community. So the first goal is to form a community using groups on suppose WhatsApp, Facebook groups, and then we have some sessions inside, like closed sessions in this community. Then we open sessions after we get after we find someone who wants to lead this community. And once this is done, then these 2 people will lead for the next remaining of the year. They will have sessions. They will contact outside people. I will help them contact outside people who are or the professors, because this is not a formal body yet. And next year, during this process from converting this from community to a club.
Okay, understood. So in this structure, okay, let's restrict ourselves to this tenure. So in the structure of yours, where does C-Minds fit in?
Okay, so the structure is just forming a community. So there won't be any proper designations. Like there won't be any AI community manager or AI community conveners this year. This year we will form a community, a group, closed group. We will find the volunteers who will take the lead. And next year, if they are interested, they will become the heads. Or next year we'll properly have the managers of the club selected.
C-Minds, the Center for Machine Learning and Artificial or Data Science. Where does that new department of administration fit in this your structure? Did you talk to them? What kind of support will they be providing, and how will they?
Yeah, this is the last question.
Yes.
So I tried contacting them. So I tried to contact with the current HOD or the professor in charge of the department. She redirected me to some other professor. So I also tried to contact him, but I got no response on mails. The whole aim of involving C-Minds department is the department is also new. That they set up department in the last year, and the goal of the department it matches with the goal of why we are forming a club. So to discuss with them how can we aid them and how can they aid us, like working together, or having the structure, having the events that they want to have, or what they will benefit from them. That is the whole purpose of collaborating with club. Yeah, so currently I am in the institute, and the plan is just after the quarantine gets over, I will go talk with the professor that the ma'am has redirected me.
Okay,
Because
got
I
it.
didn't
Arvind,
response on.
yeah, Arvind, we took twice
Cool,
the
we
time on this
can.
question. Is it okay if we take the insight question after the audience section?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Sure,
so
sure.
now we'll
Done.
open it up
I'll
for
mute
the
myself
audience
now.
members. If you have any questions, you can raise your hand. I'll unmute you. We have 15 minutes for this section. So about 10 to 15 minutes, because you've already stretched the time. You can just raise your hands if you have any questions. Or you can even put it in chat. Okay, I cannot see any questions at the moment. In that case, I think Arvind, you can continue with the second question. After that, we'll again ask the audience members if they have any questions.
Cool. Tejas, are you aware of the initiative by multiple department general secretaries and Madhav regarding pushing tech team projects and other projects conducted by the technical student body to be tagged as SLPs? Are you aware of this initiative?
No. Sorry, but I heard this for the first time. I didn't come across this in any groundworks. So, but I will definitely talk with Madhav about this. Seems like a really nice idea. So yeah, I will talk about this. I was completely
So
unaware.
okay, so I'll tell you what is happening. Since the past 2 to 3 years, this is actually an initiative which is actually posed by multiple student functionaries, and this haven't been possible because of multiple reasons regarding who will grade the students, how will this project be structured. Well, when we actually looked at your Tinkering 101, this idea of yours, which was actually carried from the past manifesto as well. Don't you think that certain problems that existed past year will also exist this year? And how are you uniquely planning to tackle this issue? And like, how are you so sure that this would happen in your tenure and stuff? You understood my question, right? So
yeah, but I'll make a
I want to
factual
just
correction
hear.
for everyone else. So first of all, these two things are very different, Arvind. I think the tech team thing is completely separate, and this tinkering course is something very separate. So I'll just make that factual correction. Now, Tejas, you can answer.
Cool.
Yeah, so you want me to compare these two things, or I should comment differently, because I absolutely have no idea about the tech teams thing. So I might just
Whenever
comment
you are
on
trying to involve the administration, whenever you're trying to involve the administration in doing something which is actually governed by the students, we have seen student bodies have seen issues. How do you think that this you will be successful in convincing the administration to support the student initiative of yours?
Yeah, but this initiative is proposed by students. We propose to start the course, but once it is approved, the course will be run by a course instructor, and the TL manager or other people will not be involved in the administration part, like grading a course, or maybe TAs of course. The involvement from the managers will be only up to like the equipment or the things that they need. They will be provided by TL. The people will work on in TL. So whenever the course is, they will have to make sure that the TL is empty, TL has enough space. So that is the only role of the student body. So we are just pushing for this course to happen, as many students want some hands-on thing to do rather than mugging up textbooks and giving exams. So that is the main motive behind it. So we are proposing this. We are not saying that we will do it. We will take the course and etc.
Okay, take care. Since there isn't any other questions from audience, if Anirudh allows us to ask follow-up questions regarding this Tinkering 101, I would like to ask that
you can ask one more rebuttal, that should be fine.
Yeah, you did mention that we'll be having 30 to 40 students will be enrolling for this course. And on the other hand, you are telling that there are many students who want to take up hands-on projects. And in the status quo, people can actually come to Tinkering Lab anytime they want and take up hands-on projects, as you mentioned, or join any of these clubs. Why do you think there exists this need for having a course and convincing faculty members who in the status quo don't actually seem to be very interested in pursuing it, and that is limited to 30-40 students? And why can't students simply come to TL and do the project they want to do? Why do you need a course for it?
Okay, so first of all, 30-40 student is the limit for the limit, because limit is set because of the other issues, like the technical issues behind running this course. So we can start with 30-40 students. The 30-40 students there won't be any problem handling 30-40 students and the budget, etc. So depending on the success and the interest from the student bodies to taking up this course, we may increase. The course instructor might take a decision to increase this the limit of 30-40 students. So that is currently the current limit that I am thinking of. Again, this at the end, everything depends on the course instructor who will be willing to take up this course. So we will have to discuss with him. These figures might change because we haven't yet found any particular interested course instructor. And the reason that I have put it in my manifesto, although it is some difficult thing, like you said that that this thing is difficult to implement, and the dealing with administration is a whole different thing. And but if I put it in manifesto, I will have enough motivation to complete it. And I want this thing to be done, because when I see myself in my second year, I would have definitely done this course, and many of my students, many of my peers, who they would be interested in this course. So that was the whole thing. And what was the another part, if you can repeat?
Why do you need a course when students can anytime come to the lab and come to the Tinkering Lab and do the projects?
Yeah, so the one thing that happens is, if I have a course load of some 42 credits this semester, some students might find it difficult to take up one more extra project except this course load. So suppose the course is getting tagged as an elective and counting it in their total credit limits, they will have a clear motivation to work on a project. Like, everyone has enthusiasm to do project,
that
but
shouldn't.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's someone who doesn't have the enthusiasm would give this answer to this
wrap this up.
project.
You can ask one more question, and let's take the final answer and proceed.
Well, I understood. Just a closing remark. We'll close this. I'm fine with the answer that you gave us. I like to give a closing remark, and then we can move on to someone else's question. So I would like to bring to your attention that there is this course ME423, which is run by Professor Shantanu from the MEC department. And this course's name is Machine Design. Well, it's not restricted to mechanical machine design. You can come up with any idea that you want. So you can talk to the mechanical engineering department, and it's open for all. You could have taken that course in your second year. The reason the department doesn't allow is because in the second year you don't have enough technical expertise to tackle bigger problems. That's why it's recommended that you take up in your third or fourth year. Cool. Thanks, Anirudh, for the time that Insight has got. We can move on to
yeah. So let's move on to the audience question. Hoping this time some people have some. If you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. We'll unmute you, or you can put it in the chat. We'll ask on your behalf. We'll, I think, wait for. I'm sorry, I just ask you unmute on someone. We just wait for, I think, 3 or 4 minutes. If there are no more questions, we'll begin with the closing statement. But I would encourage people to ask questions, because you guys have been till the end. I'm guessing you must have some things to discuss. You must be interested in the entire thing. So if you don't have the manifesto, let me know. I'll just send it in the chat box, and accordingly you can ask questions.
Yes, Gaurav, I will look into it. Thank you for the actually. Thank you. Who was it? I forgot the name.
Arvind.
Thank you, Arvind and Gaurav, for letting me know. Actually,
So
I
I
will
think
surely
two
look.
people have raised their hand. I think I'll go with Athar. Who is this? Athar. I can't see the phone. Is it Atharva Lokhande? 18. Okay, I'll just unmute the person. I'm guessing Atharva Lokhande here.
Hello. Yes, this is
Atharva.
Atharva. So basically, during ITC tenure, I see few club managers have lost the motivation to like conduct event to drive the club. So as a manager, what will you do in this scenario?
Okay. So yeah. So this is internal question. Okay. So I will try to answer as good as possible. And yeah. So the first thing is the during once if someone is losing their motivation, I would first talk to him. Like I will call him. I will just ask the reason. I will try to know the reason, because someone is getting demotivated. There is some particular reason, or some time commitment issues, or some other issues behind it. So I will clearly try to understand it first. If there is something wrong, like if suppose by my mistake or by some chance he is being given some extra things from the core ITC event, some extra responsibilities, I will try to make it even. And again, uh, any issue that is happening with him, I will try to uh, tackle it. But I didn't get any particular. Like, do you want to add some particular
No, I think
thing that?
let's close this question, because ideally we should stick to the manifesto, and I just allowed it because there were no other questions at the time.
Yeah. So like this is
Plus
internal question, so I
questions.
would not like to comment much, like,
It's
because
an organizational question, so that's something you can take offline. I think Rishabh also has a question. I'll just unmute Rishabh.
Hello, hi Tejas.
yeah. Hi, Rishabh.
I want to ask the question regarding the AI community you have written in your manifesto. So I wanted to ask, what are your plans for that AI community? Like, what will be that timeline of that? It will like you will conduct some events with that community, and what will be the timeline?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Sure.
Tejas,
Sure.
because we have already discussed this in detail in the inside question, this time be a little more specific and answer the exact
Yeah.
things.
Sure. Yeah. So every club, like the events that they have, the events will try to have similar events like the sessions by experts. There will be competitions, and there will be other things like workshops as we proceed. So there will be projects also. The projects regarding this can also be floated if we get enough mentors from this community. So in early timeline, in the first part will be forming a community, forming closed groups, and then discussion within these groups, having discussion initiated in these groups, having some closed sessions, and then
So,
the ideas that we get from these
So my
groups will
question
be.
is why it should be different from ERC and WNCC. Like WNCC already conducts sessions on AI, and then they also float the projects on SOC, and this time also Winter of Code. So why it should be different from that AI? And it should be,
Yeah.
and what will be your audience?
Yeah. So just a small question, if I may ask, like, do you think in particular, like, is this enough to cater the increasing increasing interest in the field of AI and the very rapidly growing field? Like, AI itself is a very big field that I guess it should be catered differently, not just in WNCC. Like in earlier days, of course, the WNCC will be involved much more than the other ITC, because they have idea about this. The conveners and the managers of the WNCC must be
Yeah.
must know about this. So the whole idea is to separate from WNCC is the increasing in community and the increasing demand about this field.
Okay, so you were telling the timeline. So
Rishabh,
can
last
you?
rebuttal.
Yeah. So you were telling the timeline. So can you tell that what will be the timeline for the events?
Okay. So just after this council is formed, this first thing we will do is to form a closed community. Like there might be, I haven't yet, like all the detailed discussions will be done after we form a final council and with the discussion with the managers of WNC, ERC, etc., because they will be majorly involved. So the first thing after a certain event, suppose if you take, just imagine this scenario, we take a very big event related to AI or the ML, and after this, we form the community, like we add them to certain group if they're interested. And once this is formed, we will have timely discussion sessions. Like if you might know, there is also computer vision community that was formed earlier in earlier 2 years back, basically. So so similar to that, this will be initially a closed group, and in this group timely there will be some discussion sessions held. These will be like me as well as the WNCC ERC managers together will initially lead these sessions. And then after these sessions, if someone is very enthusiastic to lead the sessions, they will be given lead for the particular, not they won't be made managers or they won't be made sekis in this tenure. And then we will float competitions. The main publishers will be this group, and also through emails and the other Facebook groups, etc., Facebook pages, etc. So yeah, then the later stage will follow, like one by one, based on the response.
Okay,
I
good.
don't want certain plan fixed right now, so it will be like open. So. Yeah, sure. So first of all, thank you everyone. Thank you panelists as well as the other students who raised their questions. And thank you Anirudh for this. So yeah, I want to create a culture in this tenure that would increase the technical enthusiasm of the students during their stay at IITB. So I envision seeing students coming forward on their own, asking for the resources to build groundbreaking technical projects. Not only these, I would like to see labs of tech teams filled with our wonderful innovators with spaces full of cool and amazing stuff. And I would like our hostel inmates to utilize the hostel tech rooms and reinitiate the fierce tech competition in between the hostels that is currently not there. Many of you might have seen the landing of Perseverance on the Martian surface, I guess. So every cubic inch of that spacecraft was filled with cutting edge technology. The world is currently aiming to colonize Mars by 2050, and AI and automation are easing human lives. Renewable energy sources are taking over conventional sources. So these are like high times for the technology sector, and the world through its technical capabilities is changing very fast. And we have very brilliant minds at IIT Bombay. And I guess together we should not only be part of this technological revolution that is taking place, but I guess we should also lead it. And we have the capability. So with your support, let's take a small step towards this endeavor. Let's tinker, innovate, and create. So thank you so much.